Jason lay awake in his bunk, staring at the ceiling and listening to the quiet hum of the Odyssey. He thought about Tala and all the things she had said and done for him. He could not believe how much his life had changed since she arrived. He was no longer just a mechanic. Now, every step he took on the station, every smile, every word meant something more in the days that followed. It became harder for Jason and Tala to find time together. The station felt smaller, with more guards and rules. Tala was called to many meetings with her family and the Varellan elders. Jason could not help but worry about her. He fixed machines and worked late hours, but his thoughts always returned to Tala. One afternoon, Jason was called to the command center. When he arrived, he saw both human and Varellan leaders sitting together. Commander Smith was there, and so was Tala's father, Joran. Tala sat beside her father, her face calm but serious. Jason stood at attention, waiting for someone to speak. Commander Smith started first. Jason, we've called you here to discuss a matter of great importance. There have been many rumors about you and Tala. Some believe your friendship is causing problems for the peace talks. Jason kept his voice steady. We are just friends. Joran looked at Jason carefully. Tala is my daughter. She is precious to me and to our people. Our ways are not the same as yours, Tala spoke up. Father Jason saved my life. I owe him everything. He is honest and kind. I do not care what others say. I choose my own path. Joran frowned, but he listened. Tala, our people have strict rules. A bond with a human is not easily accepted. We must consider the future. Jason felt his hand shake a little. He did not want to hurt Tala or cause trouble, but he could not lie about his feelings. I respect your ways, he said, but Tala and I share a true friendship. We only wish to understand each other. There was a long silence. Finally, Commander Smith nodded. We do not want conflict. We only ask that you both are careful. Any action could affect the peace between our species. Tala nodded, and Jason agreed. They both promised to be careful, but deep down, Jason knew things were changing fast. After the meeting, Tala and Jason found a quiet place near the ship's observation window. They watched the stars together, feeling safe for a moment. Tala looked tired, but she managed to smile. They think I am too bold, she said softly. They want me to be quiet, to follow their rules, but I do not want to be like everyone else. I want to be true to myself. Jason smiled gently. I understand. I am not special, Tala. I'm just a mechanic. She turned to face him, her eyes bright. You are special to me, Jason. You see me as I am. That is rare. Jason felt his face get warm. He had never been anyone's special person before. I like you, Tala. I am proud to know you. Tala leaned closer, and for a moment, all the worries disappeared. They sat in silence, sharing a quiet comfort that words could not explain. But soon the peace was broken. News of Tala and Jason's friendship spread beyond the Odyssey. Some Varellans called for Tala to be sent home. Others said Jason should be punished or sent away. Even some humans questioned why he was allowed to stay on the station. One evening, a group of angry crew members cornered Jason in the corridor. They spoke in low, harsh voices. You're bringing trouble to all of us, one man said. Why can't? You just keep to your own kind. Jason stood his ground. I haven't done anything wrong. Tala is my friend. That's all. The group was not satisfied. You're putting us all at risk. If the Varellans get angry, the peace talks will fail. Jason did not know what to say. He felt alone, even though he knew Tala would stand by him. Later, Tala found Jason sitting alone in a storage room. She knelt beside him and touched his shoulder. Are you all right? She asked. It's getting harder, Jason admitted. People are angry. They think we are causing trouble. Tala nodded, her face serious. I knew this would happen, but I do not regret meeting you. I would choose this again. Jason looked at her, searching her eyes for doubt. He saw none. We need to do something, Tala said. We cannot hide anymore. If we stand together, maybe others will see that we are not wrong. Jason was scared, but Tala's strength gave him hope. What should we do? We must speak for ourselves, Tala answered. We must show them our feelings are true. The next day, Tala asked to speak at the main council. Jason stood by her side as she faced both humans and Varellans. Her voice was steady and clear. I am Tala, daughter of Joran. Jason is my friend, and I care for him deeply. We are different, but our hearts are the same. I ask you not to judge us by fear or old rules, but by what is in our hearts. Jason spoke to, telling everyone about how Tala had changed his life and made him see the universe in new ways. He spoke from his heart, not worrying about the consequences. There was silence when they finished. Some faces were kind, others cold. But for the first time, Jason and Tala felt free. They knew the road ahead would be hard, but they would walk it together. Jason woke early the next morning, feeling more nervous than before. The Odyssey felt different now. Everywhere he went, he sensed people talking about him and Tala. Some were just curious, but others seemed unhappy. He did his best to ignore the whispers, focusing on his work. But even fixing a broken water valve in the kitchen did not stop his mind from wandering to TAL A. later that day. Tala came to see him as promised. She was smiling, but Jason could tell something was bothering her. She spoke softly. Jason, my father, and some of the elders heard about us. They are worried. They think I am forgetting our ways. Jason nodded, feeling a heavy weight in his chest. I don't want to make trouble for you, Tala. She shook her head quickly. I decide who I want to see. They can't change my mind. I want to spend time with you. Jason was touched by Tala's words. He wanted to say more, but just then, Commander Smith, his supervisor, called him over. Smith looked serious. Jason, can I talk to you? They stepped into a quiet corner. Smith sighed and spoke in a low voice. Jason, I know you're a good worker, but this thing with the alien girl, it's making people uneasy. Some Varellans complained. I'm not telling you what to do, but be careful. There are rules about contact during diplomatic visits. Jason listened and nodded. I understand, sir. Smith patted Jason on the shoulder. Just keep your head down, all right? Jason promised to be careful. But inside, he wondered if he could really stay away from Tala. She made every day brighter. He found her later that afternoon, sitting quietly in the garden dome, looking up at the stars through the glass. Are you all right? Jason asked. Sitting beside her, Tala nodded slowly. It is hard for them to understand. Humans are so different from us, but I do not care. I want to know your world. Jason smiled. I want to know yours too. Tala laughed. Little. Our worlds are far apart, but our hearts do not have to be. They sat together, enjoying the peace of the garden. Jason told her about Earth's forests and oceans, and Tala told him about her home planet's floating cities and glowing rivers. Their words painted pictures of places they both longed to visit. Suddenly, two Varellan elders entered the garden, speaking quietly to each other. They stopped when they saw Tala and Jason together. The taller elder frowned. Tala, we must speak. With you. Tala stood up, holding her head high. Whatever you want to say, you can say it here. The elder hesitated. Your actions are bringing shame to our people. The humans do not understand our ways. You should not mix with them so freely. Tala, look the elder in the eyes. Jason saved my life. He is kind and honest. I see nothing wrong with learning from each other. The elder shook his head. You must remember who you are. Tala did not back down. I know exactly who I am. One choose my own friends. The elders left, looking disappointed. Jason felt a mix of pride and worry. He admired Tala's courage, but he knew the situation was getting worse. That night, Jason got a message from his mother on Earth. She had heard about the Varellan visit and wanted to know how he was doing. Jason wrote back, telling her about Tala. He did not share everything. But he told her that Tala was special. As days passed, Tala and Jason continued to meet, but it became harder. Security guards watched them. Some crew members gave Jason cold looks. Even Matt, Jason's friend, seemed distant. One day, Matt pulled Jason aside. "You have to think about your future, Jason. If you keep seeing Tala, you might get sent home." Jason felt torn. He liked his job, but he could not imagine not seeing Tala. That night, he sat alone in his small cabin, thinking about what to do. He remembered something Tala had said about how hearts did not have to be far apart. He realized he did not want to lose her, no matter what others thought. The next morning, Jason found Tala waiting for him in a quiet hallway. She smiled, but there was sadness in her eyes. "I heard you might be sent away," she said softly. Jason shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe. But I don't want to leave you." Tala stepped closer. "If they try to send you away, I will fight for you." Jason looked into her bright eyes, feeling hope. "We can't let them win. We have to show them that we care for each other." Tala nodded. "We must be brave." Jason took her hand, not caring if anyone saw. "I am not afraid, as long as you are with me." Tala squeezed his hand, her touch gentle but strong. "Then we face this together." Their bond grew stronger that day. Jason and Tala made a promise to stand by each other, no matter what the future held. They did not know what would happen next, but they knew they were not alone anymore. The next morning, Jason woke up early. He was excited, but also nervous. He wondered if Tala would really come to see him again, or if last night had just been a dream. He hurried through his breakfast and went straight to the engineering bay, where he started his usual repairs. But he could not focus. Every few minutes he looked at the door, hoping to see Tala's face. Hours passed and Jason started to lose hope. Maybe Tala had more important things to do. Maybe she was not allowed to talk to humans like him. He tried to push these thoughts away and went back to fixing a broken control panel. Suddenly, he heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned and saw Tala standing there, holding a small device in her hands. She looked happy to see him, her blue and purple skin shining even more brightly than before. "Good morning, Jason," Tala said kindly. "I hope I am not too early." Jason smiled. "Not at all. I was hoping you would come." Tala smiled back and handed him the device. "This is for you. It's a Varroan translator. I made some changes to help us talk better. I want to understand every word you say." Jason took the device, amazed at how thoughtful she was. "Thank you, Tala. This will help a lot." They spent the morning talking and laughing while Jason worked. Tala watched everything he did, asking questions about the tools and the machines. She wanted to know how things worked, how humans fixed problems, and even how Jason learned to be a mechanic. Jason was happy to answer every question, enjoying Tala's curiosity and interest. Soon, rumors started to spread around the station. Some crew members whispered when they saw Jason with Tala. Others gave him odd looks. One of his friends, Matt, pulled him aside and spoke in a low voice. "You should be careful, Jason. People are talking. The Varellans are our guests, and their leaders might not like you spending so much time with Tala." Jason nodded, feeling worried. He did not want to cause trouble for himself with Tala, but when he looked at her, he saw how much she enjoyed being with him, and he did not want to walk away at lunch. Tala invited Jason to join her in a quiet corner of the garden dome. There, they could see stars through the glass ceiling and talk privately. Tala seemed more relaxed than she had in the busy halls. "Do you like it here, Jason?" she asked softly. "I do," he said, "but sometimes I feel alone." Tala listened carefully. "You don't have to feel alone now," she said. "I like spending time with you. You make me feel welcome and safe." Jason smiled, feeling a warm happiness he had never felt before. He wanted to tell Tala how much he enjoyed her company too, but he was shy. Tala seemed to understand. She reached out and gently touched his hand. "We are different, but I think we can be good friends." "Maybe even more." Jason's heart skipped a beat. He looked into Tala's bright eyes and saw only kindness there. For a moment, he forgot all his worries about rules and rumors. Later that day, Tala invited Jason to see the Varellan delegation's quarters. He hesitated, worried that other Varellans might not welcome him, but Tala promised to stay by his side. Inside the Varellan section, everything looked strange and beautiful. The walls glowed with soft light, and there were strange plants growing in clear tubes. Tala introduced Jason to her brother Leo, who was tall and serious. Leo watched Jason carefully, but said nothing rude. Tala explained to Leo that Jason was her friend and had saved her from harm. Leo nodded and gave Jason a small bow of respect. Jason felt proud but also nervous, knowing how important family was to the Varellans. Tala led Jason to a small room where they could talk in private. There, she showed him some of her favorite things from her home planet: colorful stones, small musical devices, and a painting of her family. Jason listened as Tala told stories about her childhood, her dreams, and her hopes for the future. Jason told Tala about his life on Earth, about his mother and little sister, and how he came to work on the Odyssey. He talked about fixing old cars as a boy and how that led him to love machines. Time passed quickly, and soon Tala's mother, Myra, arrived. She was tall and graceful, with wise eyes. She asked Jason polite questions and listened to his answers. Though Myra was formal, Jason could sense her kindness. After Myra left, Tala leaned close to Jason. "My family will accept you," she said quietly. "I can tell they see your good heart." Jason felt a wave of relief. He realized that Tala was not afraid to share her life with him. He also realized that his feelings for her were growing deeper every day. As the day ended, Jason walked Tala back to the edge of the Varellan section. Before they said goodbye, Tala looked at him with a serious expression. "Jason, some people will not understand us. But I don't care what they say. I want to keep seeing you. I want to know you better." Jason looked at Tala, seeing the honesty in her eyes. He reached out and squeezed her hand gently. "I want that too, Tala." Tala smiled, and for a moment they stood in silence, feeling a connection that words could not explain. Jason knew life on the Odyssey was about to change in ways he could not predict, but as long as Tala was by his side, he was ready to face whatever would come. Jason Clark checked the control panel in front of him, making sure all the lights flashed green. It was another normal day aboard the Odyssey, a human space station orbiting Earth. Jason liked his job as a mechanic. It was simple and predictable. Every morning he woke up, had breakfast, and then spent the day fixing machines and checking systems. But today was not like other days. A delegation of aliens called the Varellans was arriving for important peace talks. Jason had never seen a Varellan up close, though he heard stories. They were tall, graceful beings with smooth, shimmering skin and eyes that seemed to glow. When the Varellan ship docked, Jason stood with his fellow crew members in the main hall, watching the aliens enter. At the center was a young Varellan girl named Tala. She was slightly shorter than the others, her eyes wide and curious as she looked around. Her blue and purple skin shimmered beautifully under the station's lights. Jason found himself staring at Tala, fascinated by her delicate, yet confident presence. As the delegation moved toward the conference room, Tala suddenly glanced in his direction. Their eyes met for just a brief second, but it felt much longer to Jason. Later, Jason went about his duties, repairing minor problems in the station's lower deck. He was focused on his work when he heard a loud crash nearby. He dropped his tools and ran toward the sound, heart racing. When he arrived, Jason saw Tala trapped beneath a large metal panel that had fallen from above. She looked frightened, her eyes wide in panic. "Hold on. I'll get you out," Jason shouted, quickly assessing the situation. The panel was heavy, but Jason was strong from years of manual labor. He carefully lifted one end, using all his strength, and Tala managed to crawl out slowly. Jason lowered the panel back down, breathing heavily from the effort. "Are you hurt?" he asked, genuinely concerned. Tala shook her head, looking up at him with gratitude. "No, I'm fine. Thanks to you." Jason felt relief wash over him. Tala stood slowly, brushing herself off and looking at him closely. Her eyes, full of curiosity earlier, now held something else, a spark of interest. "Your name is Jason, isn't it?" she asked gently, surprised that she knew his name. Jason nodded. "Yes, it is." Tala smiled warmly, a look that made Jason's heart beat a bit faster. "Thank you, Jason. I owe you my life." "You don't owe me anything," Jason said shyly, scratching his head. He felt awkward around her, unsure how to handle the situation. Aliens rarely spoke directly to crew members like him. Tala continued to smile, undeterred by his awkwardness. "I want to see you again," she said plainly, surprising Jason even more. "I'd like to learn more about you humans." Jason hesitated, then finally nodded. "Of course, I'd like that too." Tala seemed pleased. "Good. I'll find you later." Jason watched Tala walk away gracefully, unable to take his eyes off her until she disappeared around the corner. That evening, as Jason sat alone in the cafeteria eating his dinner, he couldn't stop thinking about Tala. He wondered if she would actually come to see him again, or if it was just politeness. He knew interspecies relationships were complicated and often discouraged, but he couldn't help being intrigued by Tala. Just as he was about to finish eating, Tala appeared at the entrance. She looked around, spotted Jason, and smiled warmly. As she approached him, "I hope I'm not disturbing you," she said softly, sitting across from him. "Not at all," Jason replied quickly, feeling his cheeks grow warm. "How are you feeling after earlier?" "Much better," Tala said, her eyes sparkling. "And even better now that I found you." They spoke for hours, discussing their worlds and lives. Jason learned Tala was passionate about exploring and understanding different cultures. She asked endless questions, fascinated by every small detail Jason shared about human life. Jason found himself opening up, speaking freely about his dreams and feelings, things he rarely talked about with others. Tala listened carefully, her expression one of genuine interest and care. When it was finally time to part, Tala reached out and touched Jason's hand gently. "I've enjoyed this time with you very much," she said sincerely. "I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow." "Me too," Jason replied honestly. As Tala left, Jason watched her go, his heart filled with unfamiliar warmth. He knew they're growing. Friendship could cause problems, but for now, he didn't care. For the first time in a long while, he felt truly alive. The days after the council's decision were tense on Viridia. Even though the vote had allowed the marriage to continue, the planet was still full of arguments and whispers. Some people celebrated in the streets, waving banners of peace. Others gathered in groups, angry and afraid of what the future might bring. John Carter knew that he, Luna, and Mira had only won the first battle. John spent his time meeting with leaders, speaking to groups, and showing his respect for Viridian ways. Luna helped him prepare for each event, teaching him the right words and customs. She always spoke softly, her calm nature helping John when he felt nervous. Myra, always brave, walked with him to busy markets and open plazas, showing the people that she trusted John and stood by his side. But there were still those who wanted to stop the marriage. Some sent angry messages to the palace. Others tried to spread lies about John, saying he would force human ways onto Viridia. A few leaders met in secret, planning to break the alliance by any means necessary. One afternoon, as John and Luna walked in the palace gardens, a guard rushed to them with urgent news. There had been an attack on a small border town. The attackers wanted to prove that humans and aliens could never live together. John felt a deep sadness, but also a growing determination. He knew he had to do more than just speak. He had to act. That night, John met with Elder Keller. The old leader looked tired. "Our enemies want to turn fear into war," Keller said. "But we cannot answer hate with hate. We must show that peace can survive even in dark times." John offered to go to the border town and help rebuild. Luna and Mira agreed to go with him. Some of Keller's advisors said it was too dangerous, But the three refused to hide. "If we do nothing, we prove our enemies right," John said. They traveled to the border town, where houses had been burned and families scared. When the townspeople saw John, Luna, and Mira working together, helping carry stones, serving food, and comforting children, many began to change their minds. Some still watched with suspicion, but others joined them, picking up tools and sharing stories around small fires at night during their stay. John learned more about the pain and hope of the people. He listened to their worries. Luna played music for the children, her songs bringing peace to the tired hearts. Mira joined the townsfolk in repairing the old walls, using her strength to inspire others. One evening, as the stars came out, Mira sat with John by a campfire. "You could have left when things got hard," she said. "But you stayed. You're more Viridian than some of our own people." John smiled. "I'm not Viridian or human anymore. Maybe I'm just someone who wants peace." Luna joined them, holding out a cup of tea. "That is the kind of leader we need." News of their work spread quickly. Reports reached even those who had once been against the marriage. Many saw that John, Luna, and Mira were not only speaking about peace, they were living it. Even when it was dangerous. After a week, a large group of people from other towns arrived to help rebuild. For the first time in many years, humans and aliens worked side by side. Some laughed, some cried, but most realized that the old fears might finally be ending. On the last night in the border town, there was a festival. People danced and shared food from both worlds. John stood with Luna and Mira, watching as children of all backgrounds played together. For the first time, John felt true hope that their marriage was more than just a symbol. It was a new beginning, back. On Viridia, the council called another meeting. This time, more leaders spoke in favor of the marriage, telling stories of what they had seen. Elder Keller praised the courage and hard work of his granddaughters and John. Even Senator Relka, who had once opposed him, admitted that things were changing. "Maybe peace is not easy," she said, "but I see now that it is possible." With the council's support, plans began for the official wedding. The city was decorated with banners, flowers, and lights in the colors of both worlds. People from Earth and Viridia came to the capital, sharing songs and stories. Luna and Mira helped with every detail, wanting the day to show true unity. John, nervous but excited, prepared with his friends and family. His parents traveled from Earth, proud of their son. Luna and Mira's friends cheered them on, teasing and laughing as the day approached. On the eve of the wedding, John stood with Luna and Mira, watching the city shine. He remembered all the struggles, dangers, and hopes they had shared. Luna looked at him, her eyes bright. "Tomorrow we begin a new story," she said. Mira smiled, taking both their hands. "We started together." As night fell, John felt strong. Whatever the future held, he knew they had done something brave. They had faced hate, doubt, and fear, but they never gave up. Now, they were ready to face the future as one family and one hope for both worlds. John Carter woke early on Viridia, his mind heavy with worry. The news of rising tensions in the alliance filled every corner of the palace. Some leaders were afraid the marriage would change everything. Others felt threatened by the friendship between humans and aliens. John knew that every step he took was now watched by many eyes. He also knew he was not alone. Luna and Mira met him in the main hall. They looked calm but serious. Luna reached for John's hand and squeezed it gently. "We are with you," she said. Mira gave him a quick smile. "No matter what happens." Elder Keller called a meeting of the Alliance Council. John, Luna, and Mira were asked to speak. The council chamber was filled with delegates from many worlds. Some stared at John with open curiosity. Others frowned or whispered among themselves. Elder Keller opened the meeting with a simple statement. "Today we decide if our future will be built on fear or on hope." John stood before the council, his heart pounding. He spoke slowly and honestly. He talked about his home on Earth and what peace meant to him. He told stories of how different people learned to trust each other, even after long wars. Luna followed, sharing her hope that their marriage could become a symbol of unity, not just for their two peoples, but for all who wish for peace. Myra spoke last, her words bold and clear. She challenged those who opposed the union, asking why they feared. Change more than another war. The debate grew heated. Some leaders argued that mixing human and alien families would destroy old ways. Others said the marriage was the best chance for lasting peace. As the arguments continued, angry voices echoed through the hall. Outside, protests began to grow. Some people wanted to break the agreement. Others shouted for war. Late that afternoon, as the council tried to reach a decision, the palace alarm sounded. John's heart raced as guards rushed through the halls. Elder Keller ordered everyone to take shelter. John, Luna, and Mira hurried to a safe room deep inside the palace. They could hear the sound of shouting and fighting above. Inside the safe room, John saw worry on Luna's face. Myra paced restlessly, her fists clenched. "We can't just hide," Myra said. "Our people are in danger." John understood her fear. "But if we leave, we risk making things worse." Luna spoke softly. "We need to show we are not afraid. But we must also be careful." Suddenly, the door shook. A group of masked intruders forced their way in, demanding that John call off the marriage. John stood in front of Luna and Mira, refusing to give in. Myra stepped forward, her voice strong. "You can threaten us, but you cannot change what is in our hearts." Luna, usually gentle, spoke with quiet power. "We choose peace. Even if you threaten us, we will not run." The intruders hesitated, seeing that John, Luna, and Mira would not be broken. Just then, palace guards arrived, forcing the attackers to flee. The guards checked to make sure everyone was safe. Elder Keller arrived soon after, relief on his face. "That was brave," he said. "But the danger is not over. The council must see your courage for themselves." The next day, John, Luna, and Mira stood before the council again. This time, the mood was different. Some of the leaders who had doubted them now spoke in their favor, impressed by their bravery. Luna's calm words, Myra's courage, and John's honesty began to change hearts and minds, but not everyone was convinced. One leader, a stern woman named Senator Relka, still argued against the marriage. She said it was a mistake to trust humans. John listened, then asked for permission to speak to the people directly. He went outside, where crowds had gathered. Some shouted angrily, but many listened. John told them what he had learned about Viridia. He spoke about the kindness he had received, about the love he felt for Luna and Mira, and about his wish for a future without war. Myra joined him, standing tall. She challenged those who wanted to hold on to old fears. Luna spoke as well, asking everyone to think about the future. They wanted for their children. Slowly, the mood in the crowd changed. Some people began to cheer. Others stepped forward, offering flowers and signs of peace. Back inside, the council finally voted. It was close, but in the end, they chose peace. The marriage would go forward, and both humans and aliens would work together to build a better future. That evening, John, Luna, and Mira sat together in the palace garden. The sun set over the blue grass, painting the sky in soft purple and pink. John felt tired but hopeful. Luna leaned against his shoulder. Myra laughed, tossing a flower in the air. "We did not win everyone's trust," Luna said, "but we showed them our hearts." Myra nodded. "It will take time, but I believe we can do it." John looked at both of them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. He did not know what tomorrow would bring, but he knew he was not alone. Together, they had faced danger and fear, and together, they had chosen hope. That night, John wrote a message to his parents on Earth. He told them about everything that had happened, about the danger and the hope. He ended the message with a simple truth. No matter where I am building a new family. I am not afraid. As the stars rose over Viridia, John knew there would be more challenges ahead. But with Luna and Mira by his side, he was ready for whatever came next.